Alright everybody, good early morning. I'm going to be continuing with the next video, the second video of our second do-it-yourself dropshipping tool, which is going to be our tool that gets the sales history of anything, the eBay sales history of anything. One thing I wanted to mention, I don't remember if I mentioned it or not in the last video. In the first tool, close to the end of the set of videos for the first tool, which is our price comparison tool, I set up my progress tracker, I should call it, using a continue folder where for every time I processed a new item it would add a file into that specific folder. I use that myself, but I think for the sake of these videos it's probably tremendously easier to use a file instead of a folder. And instead of adding a whole new file into a folder, we're going to add one new line inside of one file. And I'm probably going to be doing that for the rest of the series, or for the rest of probably any YouTube video. So anyway, a good reason that you don't want to use the folder is because not only will you get banned from the website for sending too many scrapes, oh no, well anyway, you will get banned from the websites that you scrape depending on who it is and whatnot. Happened to me. Home Depot banned me temporarily, as did Lowe's, even though I wasn't even using Lowe's. Secondly, your computer might have a particularly hard time handling a continue folder with thousands and thousands of files in it, and my computer is messed up now because of it. So if you can not do it, probably don't. But my computer is messed up because I've had millions and millions and millions of different things, and they're hard to, when you want to delete it because you have to start over because you've been collecting bad data or something, it takes a really long time, and it just gets really bad. So we're going to use a file instead. So I'm going to get that out of the way. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be looking at the output. Last time, in the last video, we talked about some of the different input that we can have to specify the request that we want, but we also want to look at the output. And one other thing I wanted to mention is, if you look on that the find completed items page that was in the link of the last one, I'll post it in the link of this one too. There's another thing you can use called sort order, and I guess it's just important to use if you're gonna instead of collecting the number of results, which is I think mostly what I'm doing, if you want to actually collect details from each listing, you want to probably work with your sort order. So I think they said the default is actually end time soonest, or whichever one ended first most recently, but I'm not going to use that because since it's already default, I don't need it. So anyway, alright. So after you do this in a try and an accept, we're going to set the variable response equal to API.execute, and then our call is find completed items, and then our dictionary is DCT_request, which is right here, and then accept traceback.print_exe. So after you send your request, your response is going to be the results for that request, if you have any results. If you're too specific with your search, you might not get any results for that request. But this is the output of one item, of one response, and it doesn't actually look like this when you get it. I just gave it spaces and stuff so that we can read it and see what we're looking at. So once you get your response, if I if I put my response into Beautiful Soup, and then I say soup.item, it's going to give me everything under the item, which is that one item. And within that item there is an item ID, we have the title, we have global ID, primary category ID. I have them grouped under like tags, I guess. So any of these, I hope you can sort of see them. I don't even know, can you change the size in Notepad? Let's go for, alright, maybe that's a little bit better. So, okay, so the first thing I want to say about this is with your item ID, if you did not know, if you want to check out, one way to check out the item is by just typing the item ID in. Well, actually, now since this is a sold listing, if I paste the item ID, and nothing's going to show up because it's searching for active listings, so I have to scroll down and click the sold items button, and then it's going to show up. So that's the item ID for the listing, and then here's the title: Mint 060708 E90 left driver headlight. So was that what that said? Mint, yes, exactly, all that. Then right here we have the fact that it was pre-owned. We have the price that it sold for. We have the listing type, which is a buy it now. We have the shipping type, free shipping. We have the date that it that the listing ended. Excuse me. And then we have right here. Well, this is the category that I searched. So 33710, I guess, is headlights. But 33701 was that was the seats, I guess. So the category ID is 33710. The category name is headlights, and that's within the category tags. If you want to specifically get these out, all you need to say is soup.item.category ID or soup.item.category name, and so on and so forth. So same thing with the gallery URL, soup.id or soup.item.gallery URL, and that'll take you to the images for that item. And then here's the URL directly to the listing, if you want to go directly to the listing page. So then we've got payment method, which it says PayPal. Auto pay is set to true. Postal code, which is where it came from, which is that Campobello, South Carolina. Came from the USA. Then we've got seller info, because in the last video I used with my output selector, I asked for seller info. So if I want to get the guy's seller name, then I would say soup.item.seller username, and then it would give me it would give me this whole line. It'll give you the whole line. If you want to just get the actual value, you would say .text at the end of all that. So we see we've got his feedback score, we've got his feedback percentage, feedback rating star, whether or not he's a top rated seller, and I guess that's all so far. Then for shipping info, we've got the price of shipping, shipping service cost, so the actual price, and then free or not free, the locations it'll ship to. Expedited shipping is false. 1 day shipping available is false. Handling time, he's got his 2. Handling time is how long it's going to take me before it actually gets shipped, after you buy it and before I actually ship it out. So current price, so we've got the current price that it sold for, and then converted, I guess, is, I don't know, if you're looking at stuff from a different country, but you're in America and you want to convert it into American USD, then I guess that's what would be that. Now this is an important line: selling state, soup.item.selling state. This is going to tell you whether or not an item ended with sales or ended without sales. If it ended with sales, now again, these are completed listings, so that means that these are listings that ended, and it ended either because somebody bought it or because it ran out of time. If somebody bought it, it would be ended with sales. If somebody did not buy it and just ran out of time, it'll be ended without sales. And that's important because we can separate the two and do more analysis with that also. So we got listing info. Best offer enabled is false. Buy it now available. Start time. This is the time that the listing actually started, when the person first actually posted that item for sale. So he posted it, it says, on March 22nd of 2019 at 2:22:33, and Surprisingly, he sold it the same day, it looks like, an hour and 7 minutes later. So I guess that thing sold pretty quick. If that was going to be something that I wanted to sell, then, or if I was interested in selling, if I had this part for sale, if I had this part available and I was interested in selling it based on that alone, that amount of time that it was up for sale, I would say definitely yes. Again, it started and ended in the same day. That's why it's really important to use those time constraints when we send our request. So our listing type is fixed price, gift is false, returns accepted false, condition 3000 is used, the condition ID number is 3000, the condition ID or condition display name is used. Then is multi-variation listing, which is like if there's different, I think, variants of the same product, and then if this is a top rated listing, both are false. So those are gonna be I don't know if they're all or some of the output, but that's what I got in my response for a request that I sent earlier today. So we're at 11 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the video here, and then what we're going to actually do is I'm going to send the request in the next video, and we're going to take a look at the differences in between the responses based on the input that we include with our request, so that we can see how it changes in between it. So thanks for taking a look at this video. Give me a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.